Let's go to Deutschland. Michael, wie geht's?
Guten Abend. Hello from Germany.
Hello.
I'm fine.
What did you want to talk about?
So, so I'm an atheist. I had doubts since I was 14 years old or so, but I went through with everything because it's just a tradition here. So it doesn't matter a lot, or it doesn't matter to many people what religion you are. But you just do it for going to church and going to dinner afterwards. So, and when I was 14, I didn't believe anything, but I just thought, okay, these were some good stories in the Bible, and I went along mainly because you get a lot of gifts and money if you go through confirmation. So, and when I was 18, I said, this is all nonsense, and I read Dawkins' book, and I basically turned atheist or agnostic atheist or whatever you would want to call it. So then I married, and my wife insisted that we married, and we married in a church, and I went along because I said, no, it doesn't matter. Sure. I don't care. If you really want to, we went to church. Now I have 3 children, and they are all baptized. And my oldest will be at the age for confirmation in 2 or 3 years. So my question is, if it's just cultural, and I don't feel that they have a large disadvantage from this, and I think I can steer them and make them skeptics, should I intervene and talk them out of confirmation, or talking them out of staying in the church?
So I don't want to destroy your relationship with your family. And so I want to make sure that I put a very, very big asterisk on this and say, we're just 2 assholes on the internet.
Yeah.
But if you want to listen to us, I think the most important thing is teaching your kids to be good thinkers. Because if you go one subject at a time, then they're going to be dependent on you for their understanding of reality. But if you just work on making sure that they have the tools that they need to understand the world around them, then they can apply those tools without you. And I think that in doing that, you can inoculate them not just against religious indoctrination, but also possibly against a whole lot of dishonest actors, a lot of woo and a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I think I myself was cynical enough as a 14-year-old to say, why should I opt out? I get over 2,000 euros of money as gifts. So I just played along. And I don't think I want my children to play along for the money. So I was about...
Hey, you know what? Religion does a whole lot of harm. If you can get a couple $1,000 out of it.
Well, he's the one giving the money. So, I mean, but you had that opportunity, right?
Yeah, I mean, it would hurt me because they probably wouldn't get the money from grandpa or grandma. I don't know if they would play along. I don't think they are Christian enough, or it's a very loose. So I personally know only a very few people who really believe it. They are just cultural Christians. So the situation here in Europe is a little bit different. There are a lot less fundamentalists here. So I don't think there are a lot of outcry. So
I think, honestly, we put a lot of stock into the rituals and the culture of religion, and it's really up to you to determine whether or not this is something that is a moral obligation for you, right? Is this something that morally you'd feel like it probably wouldn't be a good idea, and you want to object to, the church being so integral into the culture? That's one thing to do, but it's not going to make them into Christians. It's not going to do anything to them to make them less skeptical necessarily if they go through this primarily cultural ritual. that will then, be counterbalanced by you as a skeptic and an atheist parent, giving them the tools they need to think about it. So I'd almost say as a kid who was denied a whole lot of really interesting stuff, that stuff became 10 times more interesting once I left. And so one thing to think about as well is if you treat this cultural, religious environment as somehow forbidden or dangerous, that's going to actually probably pique the interest of your kids, as opposed to just saying, hey, this is something that we do culturally. It really doesn't mean anything. Like, we'll go through it. It'll be a party. We'll get a dinner, and then we'll come home and I'll give you how to read, God's not great or something.
I mean, it just, a lot of Jewish people do it that way. Your kid gets mitzvah even if you believe or not, because it's a cultural tradition. And I know I feel the same way about Christmas. So
yeah. So my wife also didn't turn Catholic, even if all her friends were Catholic, and she went to a Catholic youth group in her youth, and she just did it because her friends were there. So probably just better to do it for the socializing and take the money, and then maybe they will leave church so that they don't have to pay church taxes when they earn money later.
Yeah.
Because church tax is mandatory in Germany after you, if you don't leave. So I left right before I had to pay any.
Nice. I mean, honestly, dude, if the question is whether or not you should give your children more experiences, give them more experiences. It's more about making sure that they've got the tools to decipher the world around them than it is to make sure that they come to your conclusion right away. Maybe they need to go down that path to come out on the other end understanding, but that's just what it was going to take. It's better that you not try and curate it for them, because then it becomes a forbidden fruit that they're now going to want to do because you just said no. Just help them through.
Yeah.
But again, we're just assholes on the internet. So take that with a grain of salt. I hope that.
Fine.
Yeah, hope that helps, Michael. Thank you for calling in.
So I think, thank you for taking me.
Okay. Have a good rest of your day.